Whoa! Welcome to the Treasure Tree Therapy Planters Podcast. I'm your host, Master Cheeze. You're in for a good one today. As always, we're going to start off with injuries. We're going to get into some things, major news happening in the NFL. Then we're going to move on to prime time. Yes, same action, same time, different day. Lastly, we'll discuss the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears. Just keep stinking it up. We'll do a little dash of NBA again, drop a little Salt Bay in it. You'll be in for a good one. Stay tuned. Sunday. All right, guys, welcome back to the Treasure Tree Therapy Planners Podcast. Again, your host, Master Cheeze, in the building. The tree behind me is continuing to die, but we're going to keep on living. All right, first order of business. Injuries in the NFL. A major blow again happened to the 49ers fans. Another L. Oh, my goodness. This is very interesting. Big giants and now little people fighting for a playoff spot. Very interesting how the NFL can change, but again, I still believe they're one of the stronger teams in the league. But besides them losing, breaking news, Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins experiences season-ending injury with a torn Achilles. Wow. Another torn Achilles with a starting quarterback. High hopes for the Minnesota Vikings, but it seems like they have to move forward. Now with Kirk Cousins, the man, from my understanding and from my visuals of watching him prepare every week, he prepares his body pretty well. But again, as you continue to age, the body does not treat you the same. So if we can address the neurological system, we can continue to help keep these injuries down. Devastating blow for the Minnesota Vikings, who also had Justin Jefferson go down on IR with a hamstring injury. His youth will keep him going strong in the coming years, but down the line, as he continues to age, he also needs to address his neurological system. So best of luck for him in his rehab. Again, Treasure Tree Therapy works on a lot of these athletes. We can help implement different strategies to help reduce these injuries going on in the future. So best of luck to Kirk Cousins, and we're going to move forward. Besides Kirk Cousins, there was another injury we have to talk about. The Chicago Bears. Quarterback Justin Fields' thumb is still day-to-day, week-to-week. I think that once that injury, that swelling goes down, he'll be more prepared to be at the quarterback position. We'll tap into the Bears and the prognosis for Justin Fields and the rest of the schedule going forward, but he's still down with that, and that's something to monitor. In addition to another quarterback, we also have Deshaun Watson. They sat him out this previous week, which is a good idea. I think another week will be best for them if they can muster up a way to get a victory. You'll go into your divisional games with hopefully a healthy quarterback at that position. The Browns have a strong defense, so hopefully they can ride on their quarterback and get things done. All right, we wrapped up with the injuries, and now we're going to get into the best time. It's, hold on one second. Yes, prime time and the Colorado Buffaloes experienced another L this previous weekend, at the hands of UCLA. A good football team. You got to be prepared when you're trying to knock off the head dogs, but they did not come prepared to win that game. The biggest focus we'll do is we'll look at Shedeur. As I said before, he is a NFL quarterback, and he needs to be viewed as such. But looking at his stat line, he put up 27 for 43, 217 yards, one touchdown, and this is the biggest telling stat of what the problem is for the Colorado Buffaloes. He was sacked 7 times. Yeah, from a quarterback, I'm getting sacked 7 times. I might have to throw hands with some of the linemen because that's just inexcusable. You just got to hold at least. Save me, because a lot of injuries can occur from you just missing blocks. So they have a problem going down with their linemen, as you can see. But the great thing about Primetime Sanders is that when he sees a problem, he'll make sure to take care of it. So maybe this year might not be the year where he gets the lineman situation addressed, but in the coming years, if he can get some linemen, you thought him getting these five-star recruit receivers and DBs was a problem. The NCAA is going to be in for a rude awakening once he starts grabbing linemen, 300-pound linemen from across the country. So I don't think you all want that, but if he can get that done, look out for Primetime Sanders really putting his imprint on the NCAA and hopefully maybe winning a major bowl game, even the national championship. Who knows? We can only wait and see. But Shedeur is having a hard time being the quarterback he wants to be because he doesn't have a line. And just a quarterback like that is something that you can really put in a professional NFL-like team. You don't have it that easy, and you are learning from your mistakes as you continue to go older. So just big ups to the Colorado Buffaloes as they continue to battle. And the biggest thing for them is they need to try to become bowl eligible. Become bowl eligible, you salvage the season, and now everything can be okay moving forward into the next season. Okay, so that's the part we wanted to touch on. Oh, in addition to that, though, it seems that things are getting funny in the locker room. So check this clip out.
It's this. Our kids got robbed during the game last week, I think that.
Now, I don't know what's going on, but if you're getting robbed by the opposing team or even your own teammates, you have a major problem that's bigger than football, and that needs to be addressed. So I don't really know who the culprit was, but somebody needs to get to the bottom of it. And in addition to that, somebody with glasses was seen possibly from Michigan on someone else's sidelines. Like, what is the revelation going on in college football? Is it that sweet where you could just walk on someone else's sideline, think you that guy? It seems like an episode out of Leverage. I don't know if anyone gets that reference, but just very strange that a powerhouse like that is doing the nitty gritty, or I guess that does make sense why a powerhouse like that is doing the nitty gritty. Because when you number one, you want to make sure you crush number 2, 3, and so on. So very interesting things going on in college football, and let's keep it in sports, guys. Let's relax a little bit. All right, from Prime Time, I know he's going to do his thing, as you can listen here.
Big picture, trying to keep Shedeur upright, healthy. The
big picture, you go get new lineman. That's the picture. I'm going to paint it perfectly.
He'll take care of business. So we'll move forward until, hold on, I got to take the glasses off because they don't deserve this. 1 second. The Chicago Bears. Ugh. Another L, and another L. The Bears lost to the Chargers this previous weekend. And as I said in my previous podcast, rookies make mistakes, and hopefully this game is not where he makes the mistakes, but this will be a game where he will be challenged to do things that he has not had to do really against the Raiders. So the Chargers are not a really great team. They're not a really bad team, but they're going to throw you different pressures and different looks that'll make you think on that level. Now, I know that we have our hopes high on the backup quarterback. I think that although his name is catchy, I think that we need to understand what it takes to be a memorable quarterback in this league. Although we have a lot of high hopes for Tyson Tyson B hasn't really earned the rights to have his name pronounced correctly. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully, it's just the nature of the game. But Tyson is trying to do his best, and I see some flashes of him, but the Chargers threw different looks at him, and the stat line he was able to put up was 232 yards, going 25 for 37, and 2 interceptions. Yes, that's not a really good stat. Now, I know we played the Chargers and we're down, but if we're going to give praise, we also have to give criticism. Tyson has to grow as a quarterback, like all quarterbacks. Now, we just need to find ways to just win. If we can minimize the turnovers, that'll increase our chances of winning. So the playbook and the strategies needs to just be as so. Keep the ball in your defense's hands and have them help you win that game. You cannot be throwing interceptions if you can't score. Looking at Tyson's stat line over the last couple of games, he has 477 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and a fumble. If I can recall, went for a touchdown in a Vikings game, which may have cost us that game. So we need to clean that up. But guess what? None of that really mattered. None of that mattered. Because guess what? With Justin Fields or without, we probably still would have lost that game. We are a bad team. But the thing about this season is that we can get away with making the playoffs with being a bad team. Coming up next, we have the Saints, and then we have the Panthers on Thursday Night Football. These are not the best of teams. These are teams that are beatable, and if we can beat these teams, we'll have a dogfight as we play the Lions. Now, in playing the Lions, you can lose the next 2 games. I would prefer us to go 1-1, and the season's still not over with. We need to face the Lions, and we need to beat them. If we beat the Lions, we can go up in the division by knocking off the top giant twice, beating the Packers, and having the Vikings down the line. This is all optimism, but the season is not over with yet. We can still muster up a couple individual wins, and it'll come down to a dogfight down the line. Now, the Lions had a strong showing on Monday Night Football where they were able to defeat the Oakland Raiders. But who's not beating the Oakland Raiders? The Oakland Raiders are not a good team. In fact, breaking news, the head coach just got fired. So that's nasty, but the Lions still have to come, and they have to still play the Chicago Bears. Now, Justin Fields, he'll have another week or 2 off, but when he plays the Lions, he needs to bring it all. He needs to show us that he is a franchise quarterback. That is going to be a big telling game, whether he's playing or not playing. That game is what's going to determine the direction of this franchise. I'm optimistic that Justin Fields will come back and he'll show some grit and he'll show some hunger. But if he does not, it's going to be a long off season for the Bears because we'll have to clean some things up. In addition to the Bears on offense, we were able to get a couple trades going into the trade deadline. We've improved our front line, which will help present more pressure and will be a problem going on into the rest of the season. With the new front line, hopefully we can formulate more sacks, more pressures, and really rely on our defense as the weather changes and it gets colder. The ball's not going to be thrown the same. You got to be able to stop the run in order to be a great team, and you got to have a good defense. Although scoring is important, defense matters too. Before we go on to that, we want to look at, hold on one second. I'm getting breaking news. What? Huh? James Harden has just been traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. All right, guys, we know that's breaking news, but it's not really breaking news because we've known this for the last couple of weeks, but it's been official. Now that we move on to the NBA segment here, James Harden is officially a Los Angeles Clipper. Looking into what that means for the rest of the West doesn't mean absolute anything because down the line, it just comes down to who cannot be injured. The Clippers are a strong team, but they've shown to be injury prone, and so it's exciting news, but not really winning basketball. The Denver Nuggets are still the head honchos to be knocked off, and we'll see how they perform. But I want to touch on Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant is the individual I want to touch on first as I'll do my segment on the NBA. Kevin Durant has what's called these neurological blinks. I know you probably never really heard of it. It's because it's a term that I've created, but neurological blinks where things just kind of freeze up on you. You know, things that you traditionally like to do, and you just kind of like a brain fart per se, but more sports related. Kevin Durant has these neurological blinks where he just starts to turn the ball over. A high-profile athlete like himself, he puts a lot of work in, can knock a jump shot from 38,000 feet across the gym. It's just experiencing these weird late in the game turnovers. Is that due to decreased strength, or is he having neurological compensations that are making him feel unsafe and the ball is just going awry? These are a couple of different turnovers that you can see that you don't really expect from a high-caliber athlete like himself. Now, I've been watching Kevin Durant for a while. I know he experienced an Achilles injury, and he tried to bounce back, and he had a hard time with the balance. But in watching that, I believe the Achilles injury stemmed from the broken foot he experienced when he was with OKC. I'm not sure if you guys really pay attention to injuries like that, but he had some time where he had to sit out for a foot injury, and I believe that's what caused neurologically his Achilles injury to occur. Now, as he continues to get better, his neurological system is trying its best, but late in games, late in stretches, your nervous system is going to go. And so hopefully in the beginning of the season, he can figure out a best way to conserve his energy. But it's only week 2 in the NBA season, and I can see a couple of conversations already showing. And that goes for a lot of people. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I've written a lot on these athletes, and I'm looking forward to showing you all what I've learned and what I can see, and hopefully these athletes can address these issues that they might be having. And I'm not here to discredit any of the hard work that they've done, but I'm only saying that there is more that can be done. And once we can do that, we can reduce these injuries, and we can watch basketball at its best without saying, what if, right? What if? What if Kobe Bryant never tore his Achilles? What if, you know? But that's the headspace I'm in right now. I like to keep these podcasts nice and short, couple information. If you want more information, if you want to get some Treasure Tree Therapy gear, as you can see, we rocked out, got the hat, got the zip up. Check out the website, TreasureTreeTherapy.com. And if you're in Chicago, there is a Brooks alumni basketball game taking place at historical Jackson Park. Be there at 1 p.m. The event lasts to roughly about 5 p.m. 1 to 5. Be there or square. I'll attach a flyer behind this slide. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Don't forget, daylight savings time is on Sunday. So either get your rest or don't get your rest. Who knows? Who cares? But on that note, this is the Treasure Tree Therapy Planters podcast, and I'll see you on the next one.